Welcome to Catherine's tutorial. In this video, we will learn about what is RH factor and what is RH incompatibility. In our last video, we learned about what is A, B and O blood groups and also AB blood group, who discovered those blood groups and what are the antigens and antibodies present in those different types of blood group. And today we are going to learn about what is RH factor and what is RH incompatibility. Okay, so we'll just start with RH factor. As we discussed already, the blood group of A individual, B individual, AB and O. The A individual will have a surface antigen which is actually present on the RBC, present on the surface of RBC. So they will have this A antigen on their surface. So blood group A people will have A antigen on their surface, and B blood group individual will have B antigens on their surface. So they will have B antigen. AB blood group people will have both the antigen on the surface of RBC. It is B and A antigen on the surface of RBC. That differentiates the blood group as A, B and AB. O, as we have learnt already, there is no antigen because it is not going to synthesize any protein or any type of transferase enzyme that produces a surface antigen, so it is also known as null. Okay, I can able to tell an individual whether he belongs to which blood group, whether it is A, B, AB or O. Then how can I tell them whether they are positive or negative? So this positive and negativity is based on the presence of one more antigen. Apart from this A and B antigen, the blood group, the surface of RBC will have A antigen and B antigen, and both of them together in case of A blood group, there is a presence of one more antigen that is known as D antigen. RH antigen is also known as D antigen, which is present in RBC. Imagine if this individual is having a positive blood group, suppose in case he is A positive, he will also have one more antigen on the surface. That is, they will have D antigen. If the next blood group B, if it is negative, so there will be no D antigen on the surface. So if the D antigen is present, this type of blood group is known as positive blood group. If D antigen is absent, this type of blood group is referred to as negative blood group. Okay, so this blood grouping, the presence of or the existence of one more antigen in human population was actually identified in the year 1940. It was identified in the year 1940 by Karl Landsteiner and Alexander Wiener. They have discovered the presence of one more antigen which determines the positive and negative blood groups in human beings was identified by the year 1940 by these two people. We'll just go in detail why this blood group was named as RH. Why it is known as RH? If you take biology or any field of science, the naming is based on specific characteristic feature. The naming of any like process or any definitions are always based on some important features. The same way, this RH blood group is also named after a monkey, rhesus. RH denotes the name of a monkey which was used in this experiment to identify the presence of D antigen. Actually, this D antigen is also present in monkeys. Okay, and this antigen is also present in some human population. If it is present, the blood group is said to be positive. If it is not present, the blood group is negative. Okay, can you able to understand? We will just go with what is RH incompatibility. We will just see in detail. This RH incompatibility is also known as, or it results in diseases. Okay, not diseases, it is actually resulting in a disease which is known as hemolytic newborn disease. Hemolytic disease of newborn, or it is also known as erythroblastosis fetalis. Okay, so RH incompatibility. What does actually RH incompatibility mean? We will just see in detail when I explain this topic. Okay, but just remember that this RH incompatibility will result in hemolytic disease of a newborn, which is also known as HDN in the short form. Hemolytic disease of a newborn, or it is also known as erythroblastosis fetalis. Now we will just see in detail what is erythroblastosis fetalis. So suppose in case if this negative blood group is present in male, that is not going to cause any problem to the developing fetus. But in case if it is present in female, okay, if a female has, or if a female have this negative blood group, that results in a problem known as erythroblastosis fetalis. Okay, we'll just see in detail. If RH positive men marries RH negative women, the child may be RH positive or it may be RH negative. There are 50 and 50% chances if the father is heterozygous to this blood type. In case if an RH negative mother, if she carries an RH negative baby in her uterus, then this incompatibility will not occur, so it is not going to cause any problem to the developing fetus. But if the developing fetus, for example, imagine fetus which possesses positive blood group, that is, it has D antigen. If this type of fetus develops inside this RH negative mother, okay, then the incompatibility problem starts here. So what happens here? What is actually incompatibility? Mother's blood, there is no D antigen. She doesn't have any D antigen. But the fetus which is positive has D antigen. During the first pregnancy, what happens here? The placenta during the first pregnancy become the barrier. It will not allow the D antibodies to pass through them. So D antibodies are nothing but to destroy the D antigen. So during first pregnancy, this D antibody, this placenta acts as a barrier, will not allow this D antibodies to enter inside the fetal blood circulation. So what happens here? If the female is negative individual, blood group base, and if the developing fetus is if the fetus is positive, the problem occurs here, that is erythroblastosis fetalis. To be in detail, it will not cause any problem during the first pregnancy, but it may increase the risk of erythroblastosis during the second pregnancy if the second baby is also positive. If the second baby is positive, the problem occurs during the second pregnancy also. The first pregnancy will be normal, as we have learned, the placenta becomes the barrier, so the D antibodies cannot able to enter inside the fetal circulation. But what happens here? During parturition, What is parturition? It is nothing but delivering the baby or delivering the fetus. During parturition, the blood vessels of fetus will break. It enters into the mother's blood circulation. Imagine it is mother's blood circulation where you can able to find the D antigens are entering inside during parturition. Okay, so they are entering inside. I am just mentioning it with positive symbol. So to represent the D antigen. So it enters inside the mother's bloodstream. Mother's blood. If any foreign particle, if it is any foreign pathogen or something or some substances which are foreign to the body, if they enter inside your blood vessels or if they enter inside your blood circulation, our WBC will usually react and they start to produce antibodies. But it takes some time to produce antibodies. Even in immunology, you may have learnt about primary immune response. So what is primary immune response? When a pathogen enters inside the body of an individual for the first time, the WBC will take time to identify and neutralize the pathogen. So it takes some time to react. What is secondary immune response? When the primary immune response if it is over, the WBC will have it in memory. The same pathogen enters inside the body for the second time. The mechanism or destruction of the particular pathogen will be very fast because WBC has memory of how to encounter the pathogen. The same happens here when during first pregnancy the fetal circulation releases positive, that is D antigen, into the mother's blood circulation where the mother doesn't have any D antigen. So the mother's WBC will start to produce D antibodies. The mother's WBC will start to produce D antibodies to destroy the D antigen. Before preparing the D antibodies, before the preparation of D antibodies by the mother's WBC, the child will be delivered, so the first pregnancy will be normal. But what happens in the case of second pregnancy? During second pregnancy, already during first pregnancy, mother has sensitized this D antigen and she developed D antibodies. It will be present in her bloodstream. During second pregnancy, the child is again positive child or positive fetus. What happens here? During second time, the IgG antibodies are nothing but Ig represents immunoglobulins. They are nothing but they are immunogenic substances or secretions which will fight against the microorganism. This G represents gamma. There are different types of immunoglobulins like alpha, gamma, mu, delta, epsilon. These are the 5 different types of immunoglobulins. Among them, the IgG is the smallest one. The smallest one can able to cross the placenta and they can enter inside the fetal circulation during the second delivery. If they enter inside the fetal circulation, they are going to destroy the fetal RBC. The RBCs of the fetus will be continuously destroyed by the D antibodies which is produced by the mother's bloodstream against the fetus. What happens here? If RBC is going to get destroyed, it results in anemia. Anemia in fetus. It also results in jaundice. Why jaundice occur? When the RBC is continuously getting destroyed, it releases bilirubin. Bilirubin is a byproduct of RBC breakdown. This bilirubin will stay in the liver and they will also stay in the brain cells of the fetus and they will cause severe damage because the fetus will not able to secrete, will not be able to secrete the bilirubin through urine. So instead, all this bilirubin will be accumulated in liver, resulting in jaundice and finally resulting in death. And this disease is known as hemolytic disease of a newborn or erythroblastosis fetalis. If the mother is Rh negative, the developing child is Rh positive, this problem will arise. If the mother is Rh negative and the child is also Rh negative, there will be no Rh incompatibility. Okay. This thing has happened like mother is Rh negative and the child is Rh positive, then what will happen? Like there are a number of medications. We have got all the advanced medications because of improvisation in the field of medicine. When you take into account about this Rh incompatibility, there is a medicine available to solve this problem. Rocum is a name of a medicine which will be given to avoid this erythroblastosis fetalis or hemolytic disease of a newborn. So what is Rh? It denotes the rhesus monkey, where we have discovered this D antigen, and O is nothing but absence of D antigen. The individual who doesn't have D antigen only is Rh negative. So to them only we are going to administer this medication. Gum represents the trade name of a marketing company, the pharmaceutical company who produces this Rocum injection. So what is the function of this Rocum? When you inject this Rocum, what happens here during first delivery? Imagine it is a fetus. During first delivery, the fetal, that is when the blood vessels break from the fetus, the positive D antigens, that is a positive cell, will enter inside the mother's bloodstream. Now mother's bloodstream will start to produce D antibodies against this antigen. So now the mother's blood or mother's RBC, sorry not RBC, it is WBC, will start to produce D antibodies. Now the D antibodies has to go and destroy the D antigen. Okay, as I have told you already, during first delivery, before the mother's blood sensitizes the presence of D antigen, the baby is delivered. But it will not happen in case of second pregnancy. So what they will do actually, this Rocum injection will destroy the D antigen released from the fetal circulation before the mother's blood sensitizes the presence of D antigen in her blood. So she is not going to develop any antibodies. So during second pregnancy, the antibodies are not going to go and destroy the developing fetus. But what happens? And one more way also we can able to stop this issue or to avoid this problem, where we can allow the female to have to get injected with this injection by 28th week or 34th week of pregnancy, where we can able to avoid this problem of erythroblastosis fetalis. Okay, by the next video we'll learn about what are the hypotheses have been proposed based on Rh factor. We'll learn about Rh factor in detail by the next video. Thank you.